McGowan chime in.
Yeah, I want to call out a couple of things that are in this presentation. When Derek talked about the budget deficit of $2 million in the current year, I want to remind the council that we've already approved expenditures well over that, where the anticipated budget deficit today is closer to $3 million, because that's the level of service we're providing to our residents, whether it be for the issues of maintenance of fire mitigation, landscaping, tree trimming, water, you name it. We've been having to approve these incremental expenses at many of our prior council meetings since July 1st. And I will also make the other comment that the $3+ million that Councilman Lazarro referred to as going into for a provision for capital improvements really excludes the building we're sitting in right now. That is what is necessary, envisioned right now for all the other infrastructure needs within our city. And going back to one of the comments made earlier tonight at the podium about the issues with this particular building, there's a lot of challenges. We're trying to balance all of those priorities together, and until we get our complete hands around them, it makes it very difficult to do accurate projections, because the numbers are probably much greater than our residents are going to be able and willing to absorb in the near term. And we may be looking at, there was other options, I know it's been brought up at prior council meetings and by prior council members, that we may need to look at more than just parcel taxes as a source of revenue to balance the needs of our community.
So I'd like to comment on that comment, I guess.
Say that fast 5 times.
Yeah, right. So, you know, Council Member McGowan is correct that this building is a question mark, and you know we've heard from the city manager some incredibly modest proposals, like putting in some new carpet and a coat of paint in a couple of rooms, and you know we've heard you know some residents have ideas that go well beyond that. One slide that I didn't include tonight, but in light of these comments, I think I'll mention it. Is there is a concept that's floating out there to build a public safety building, and one thing that we know is that the fire department, the County of LA Fire Department, will pick up 80% of that tab, which is pretty remarkable.
If we provide the land.
If we provide a parcel for them to build on. The other thing that I'd like to just put out there for the benefit of everybody listening and wondering, well, what is, you know, 80% of what number, right? The most recent fire station that was built by LA County is Fire Station 104. It was built in 2020, and it cost $14.1 million.
Where was that?
I don't know exactly.
And I'm not hitting you with 50 questions. Is it of similar size? Is that?
Yeah, it's a relatively decent sized station. It looks very nice. I did look up a picture of it.
And that was 2020.
It was 2020, so
20
right. Add some more money to that. But the point is that, you know, in some conversations with Councilmember McGowan, the way I've described this is I think that there's potentially what I'll call a bounding box if we were focused on a public safety facility. And, you know, maybe we add a police station to that. Maybe the county doesn't pick that part up. But, you know, I've heard some really scary numbers out there, you know, that residents have heard in neighboring communities like Redondo Beach and other places, Hermosa Beach, where they've talked about, you know, $100 million facilities. And again, the point that I'm just trying to make here is that you know, you can build a fire station for apparently about 14, right? And if the county is willing to pick up 80% of that, it's a single-digit number, and then maybe you add a police station on top of that. And it's definitely not 100 million, and it's not 50 million. It's not really even close to that.
Until you get to, oh yeah, you have an existing building you got to resolve.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Well,
place to park.
Right. Yeah. I mean, look, I'm not saying it's easy, but again, just addressing some of Councilmember McGowan's future visions about what could be done. I think there are ways to do it that are more economical than have been discussed in other communities.